So I'm going to teach you how to take a deep breath. This is not going to be woo-woo, I promise, okay? I just want us to do this. Do you ever get at the end of the day and feel like this? Yes, and I usually just say dismiss, right? So we're going to actually pay attention when our technology even notices that we're not breathing deeply, and this is happening. Do you ever go home and feel like your shoulders are your earrings, right? I get an ache in my jaw, right? So I'm just going to teach us how to breathe. And again, I'm not going to do this in a woo-woo weird way. What I'm going to do is teach you how to do something called box breathing. It's tactical breathing, box breathing. The description for all of this is in your book, so you don't need to write any of this down. I'm going to let you read these 2 bullet points, and then I'll tell you how to do this. So here's where I discovered this. When I first started thinking about like breathing, meditation, mindfulness, all of this, I did think that it was a little woo-woo, and I resisted it for a while. And then as I did the research, I started, you guys, people with high-stress jobs are taught how to do this. So they were talking about ER doctors and police officers and soldiers, and I was like, oh, ding, ding, I know someone else with a high-stress job. Why are we not taught this as educators? So I'm here to try to teach us this as educators, because look at that second bullet point. Are there moments in your classroom that you need to calm and center yourself? Yeah, and it could be a crisis. It could just even be you have 30 young people in your classroom all pushing your buttons and vying for your attention. And now more and more and more students in crisis turning desks over, right? We need some coping skills for this. So this box breathing, here's what it looks like. Here's the graphic for it. If you want to take a photo of this, you are welcome. I'll also put this in the slide. Some people like to have the graphic of this. So you don't have to do anything yet. I'm just going to explain to you how this works. So you see where it says start. So the thinking behind this is that you are breathing around this box. So when you go up one side, that is an inhale. And that is a deep inhale, which means that when you are taking that breath in, your stomach is expanding. Most of us don't breathe from our stomach. Where do we normally breathe from? Our chest, right? And the more stressed we get, the more shallow our breathing. This is what leads to a panic attack, right? Because our breathing is very, very, very shallow. So the inhale is trying to get that breath to our belly, and we will know that we're taking a deep inhale when our stomach expands as we are moving up that side of the box. When you take that inhale and then you hold it, that's the top of the box. You exhale, and your stomach goes back to its perfectly flat six-pack abs, and then you hold it at the bottom. Ideally, the recommendation is 4 counts around each side. Now, I will tell you, when I first started this, I thought I was going to die. 4 it was too much. So just don't get too caught up in the numbers. Just think more about moving around that box, that you're taking a deep breath, you hold it at the top, you exhale and hold it at the bottom. If we don't calm ourselves, especially related to that displaying objectivity and control, we might say or do something that we can't take back. We have all been there where we say something to a child and later on we think, oh no, right? So here's the deal. It's all attached to, there's so much happening in our brain, right? So when we get really, really, really angry, what happens is we go limbic, is what a friend of mine used to say. We go limbic, meaning we work out of the limbic part of our brain, which means that we're saying and doing things without thinking about it, right? We know that feeling where we get, deep into an argument, something has happened and we say things, and then later on, that's when we have regret, right? So I started learning about the limbic system when I was in charge of discipline, and I had students that were kicked out of the classroom and sent to my office, right? They arrived in a limbic state. None of them arrived at my office calm, right? Miss Boogren, I would like to tell you what I just did wrong and what I'm going to do to fix it. None of them ever did that, right? They were hot. They came in hot, right? And here's the, we do what was done to us. So all I knew, kid came in, so I would immediately start asking questions. What did you do, right? How are you going to make it better? Sit down and write a letter. And oddly enough, none of those questions or suggestions help to calm a student down, right? Because in the moment, what I learned, when we are in that limbic place in our mind, we cannot make a rational decision. We cannot make a rational decision. And me asking those questions of that student, all I was doing was escalating, right? It was getting more and more and more. And my goal was never for them to get in more trouble. When they came to my office, they were already in trouble. So what I learned is that the best thing that you can do when a student goes limbic is to make sure that they are safe and walk away. Make sure they are safe and walk away. Even more ideally now that I have learned more, I would make sure they were safe and give them something to color or give them something to look at to help calm that nervous system down so that then they can have a rational conversation. And we've all been there. Do you know how long, when we get into the limbic state, do you know how long we stay there? The hard part is it varies. It can be anywhere from 10 minutes to, I don't know if you're married, I think it's weeks. I'm not sure, but no, right? It totally varies. There is no magic number. So the key is we have to just kind of keep checking back, and you will literally start to see someone just kind of calm down. Their entire body will start to calm down, and then you can have a conversation. So the last thing that we want as educators is for a kid to go limbic and for us to go limbic. Nothing good can come of that. And quite honestly, we've all probably been there, right? And think about when you are especially tired and you have reached decision fatigue, how much easier it is to be pushed over that edge, which leads to why we need to take care of ourselves and practice that breathing. The best thing that we can do when a kid starts hitting our buttons and starts hitting that place, get them in a safe place and allow them time to breathe and you time to breathe.